brainers. So today I'm going to be doing a highly requested video, one that I have deliberated for quite some time over doing or not, and that is how to get the perfect fit on your Lenny Lamb soft structured carrier. The reason I haven't been so sure whether I was going to make this video or not is because I could tell you how to fit the straps perfectly for my body, but I really can't tell you how to get it perfectly for your body. So this is not going to be exactly where to place each buckle, but really the thought process I went through to find the perfect fit for mine, and a thought process that you might be able to go through to get the perfect fit on yours. So let's get started. Probably the first thing you notice about a Lenny Lamb is that it has a ton of adjustments that it can make. I mean, everything adjusts on this thing. And that's why I think people have some trouble with it. It's just very overwhelming, and there are so many different ways you can adjust it. So I find it very helpful to start with just one, master that, and then move on to the next one. So I'm going to show you guys the waistband right now. The first thing I want to talk about is where it should be on your waist, because a big mistake a lot of people make is putting it on their hips, and that's actually going to be uncomfortable for your back over time. A better place to do it would be at your natural waist, and so that's like right above where your hip bones are, and some people even like to do it up pretty high, like under the bust. I like to have mine about there, so that's where I'm going to put mine today. And then I'm going to show you the adjustments here. So it tightens this way, and it also tightens this way. It tightens quite a bit. So it's obviously too loose right now, but it's actually still too loose. If it can come away from you, it's too loose. So you really want to suck in, tighten, and then feel it. It should not come away from your body. And the reason for that is, if it comes away from your body, your baby's going to slip. And you're going to start with your baby up in a good place and end up with your baby halfway down your back. So it should be pretty snug. Okay, so once you've mastered where the waistband needs to be, the next thing I like to focus on are these. These are the PFAs. Let me show you. They sit right here when it's on, right about there. And you will see that they can extend all the way like this, and that they can retract all the way like this. So what I like to do is think about what each adjustment is doing for the whole carrier. If I extend this all the way, this is going to make this carrier feel larger. It's going to give a lot more room everywhere, including the straps, of course, but also in the panel itself. If you are a tall person, you might find that you need these extended to some degree. But if you're shorter, you might find that you need them retracted, which is my story. So I like having mine all the way retracted. That'll depend upon your height, your width, and also where on your stomach your waistband is. So once you figured out where your PFAs need to be, the next thing I like to focus on is your chest clip right here. This is that one that comes across here if it's in the front, or comes across the nape of your neck if it's in the back. You want to make sure that this isn't too tight where it's pulling the straps in and kind of choking you, but you also want to make sure it's tight enough where your shoulder straps aren't falling off, because that's no good either. It's okay if it's a little slack as long as it's keeping the shoulder straps in the right area. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about are these arm straps, and this is definitely the place where most people have trouble. They can figure out the waist strap, the chest clip, the PFAs. It's all easy. What becomes a challenge is this part right here. They find either that this is cutting off their circulation, or that this is kind of uncomfortably, the clip here is kind of uncomfortably resting underneath their armpit. So first I want to talk about how this moves. You'll see that it can pull down this way, which brings, if you think about it as though it's on, brings the panel in. So if you pull over the tab, you're bringing the panel in. You'll also notice that the arm strap part pulls in too. One of the common mistakes made is that people will release the part on the panel all the way, and then rely just on tightening this for their level of comfort. And I find that to be very, very uncomfortable. I would actually recommend starting with this all the way tightened, and this loose as well, and tighten them both alongside a friend, to find the perfect fit for you. Chances are you're not going to have this all the way down or all the way out. It's going to be somewhere in the middle, or a variation of that depending on how tall and wide you are. So I hope that this made a little bit of sense and that it helps you figure out where you want everything. You might have to go back once you have things perfect and fine-tune some of your other details. But it's really all about looking at each of the adjustments one by one and taking into account what each of them do on their own, and trying not to get overwhelmed with how many there are. If you like this video, like, subscribe. If you have a question, leave it in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.